All right, everybody, ASAP Grim here, and this is the continuation of my little jaunt through Endless Space 2. I do this once every few years, and every time I do, I kind of learn something new and pick something up from the game that I didn't know before. So right now I'm Alt-tabbed out, and I'm going through and making sure that everything is streaming on each platform I go to correctly. That there's no problems, at least no obvious problems. So, check Twitch. Looks like there was a network error, reload. Okay, I did, and Twitch looks good, so I can close that out. Kick also looks good. I can close Kick out, but I'm keeping Kick's chat window up. And I have my Restream chat window up, which takes care of Twitch and YouTube. Rumble usually is kind of late to the party on its transition. Looks like it's switching right now. Yeah, it did. Okay, so Rumble's good. That's my preferred platform, actually. YouTube is looking good. As I said, I've got chats up for everything, but not necessarily expecting a whole lot of chatting. This is just more, this is real chill. If you guys do chat with me, I'll answer you. But if you just want to lurk, that's fine also. And Restream's looking good. Okay, let's go ahead and pop into this game. And it looks like I am on turn 41. I failed to explain, maybe it's obvious to some of you who know this game better than me, but we're on a medium galaxy size with, I think, 5 total players, including myself. Or is it 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. And it's high density, if I recall correctly. So the score here, we're in second place, but it is kind of a distant second. The score is 260 to 225, but we have not really even begun to approach our potential. So we'll see how things develop going forward. One thing I'm going to do is turn down the music a little bit. Just a cursory check of my last stream. It felt like the music was a little bit overriding when it got to the loud parts. So we'll have to live with the fact that it'll be a little underwhelming when it comes to the quiet times. Do I have headphone mode on? I'm going to take headphone mode. I use headphones exclusively. Okay. Well, let's maybe do an overview. On turn 41, I suppose an overview should start right here. So, we are happy and ecstatic. One planet is content. That's because it's still an outpost. Let's see, do we have any other outposts? Nope, that's it for right now. Food production is pretty solid everywhere except for Nos. And we've not even really begun to specialize yet because I haven't researched those techs. And I haven't terraformed anything. Industry is Petra at our home system of Rassam, followed by Nos, 167 and 152 respectively. Even Bouchier is doing better than Hammer, but as I said yesterday, Hammer will pull ahead of everybody eventually. This is our industry specialized system. It's got some fantastic potential. It just needs to get the infrastructure in place, and that's why this guy's there. So, and so that's how we're looking there. We're researching multi-thread management. Let's start looking at building queues. Okay, we're working on the Endless Research Park. I'm sorry, I had to clear my throat. Endless Research Park. Nos 1, and then we're building another explorer ship and another colonizer too, because there is a system out there that I want to get colonized that's actually going to become my dust system. This used to be the dust system. I renamed it back to Nos. And it's now going to be a split between dust and I think it was industry. I'm back out of here. Yeah, just looking at how the bars are lying, it's going to be dust and industry. So we'll be able to start building stuff here pretty quickly. We're colonizing this last world, so things are moving along right there in Nas pretty well. What is this? This is Bouchier, and it's going to be food, and I think it was industry. I started to say dust, but looking at the bars, it's food and industry on this system right here. And they're busy colonizing. So once they've colonized all their worlds, then we'll start putting in the infrastructure. Right here, what do we got? Hammer? Is this? Yeah, the hammer system. So cerebral networks, drone networks, and then we're going to start colonization and then infrastructure. This is just the preliminary basic infrastructure. Then we will colonize, and then we'll start into the specialization infrastructure. And that's when we should start to see this system meet its potential. Oh, I say that, but we need to research these. Okay. What do we have here? This is the outpost of Timas. This is going to be our food specialization center, and it'll be colonized in 7 days. And that brings us back to Rassam. So we should be good to go. Where's my research ship? This is my navy. I've got them coming out here to patrol these areas. I've got a research ship on its way to the system of Scythe. I've got another navy parked right here to take care of this area, and they would also be responsible for up here. But these are pretty remote areas, and the only systems that could become pirates are these two, I believe. And influence will usually, eventually, that's what I'm trying to think of. They will eventually fall within our influence, and they won't be a problem anymore. But until then, I'm leaving. I want to patrol this. I want to be ready to respond right here immediately, and then I'm willing to travel out here if there's a problem. Okay, we'll end turn. I hope I've explained myself well. The Academy power has increased. Let's see what else we're dealing with here. Breathe deep, event end. Okay. We got more population growth. Harishams and Imperials. And we're on to drone networks over in the Hammer system. Alrighty then. Looks like I have a curiosity here. Curiosity's here. Okay, so once I have Voyager right here, which do I? Or is that the next turn? Oh yeah, it's a couple turns away. Then we'll hit those systems. I think there's a Curiosity over here too. Yeah. Okay, send our fleets out. There we go. Movement. That other colony ship that I'm building is going to colonize Virgo. And I forget what Virgo was going to be as far as... Oh yeah, this was the dust. This was going to be the new dust system. That's right. I need to learn how to colonize gas planets. All right, Imperials. Population gain. We're now building a Voyager vessel. Colonizing Ash in the Bouchier system. Excellent. Let's move fleets forward and look at the score. 240 to 291. Man, that unknown empire, that blue one, they have been screaming forward for a while, and now it looks like green is starting to really come up. Okay, we just got ubiquitous surveillance. How's my dust? We're at plus 80, okay. Colonized desert, done in 7 turns. Voyager is complete over here. And we'll send them to... Let's start with Amosa, and then we'll hit Heka and Serte, and work our way up here to... Oh, Virgo's already done. Timas. Okay. What else? Research. Where is gas? Oh yeah, it's over here. I can research it right now, but I think I'm going to hold off because I want to be able to get tanks for my military. Then I want to research food. That'll take 3 turns, and then I will research gas. So that'll be done in 4 turns. Okay. Move fleets forward. We have an empty construction queue. I like to see that. I like to see that. It means that I can embark on the next phase of my strategy. So I have to think about what I want to do. So this is NOS. I said it was going to be dust and industry. All right, what does the obelisk do? That we want to have that on a place that has a bunch of fertile planets. That's going to be my food system. Or not fertile, but temperate. We want this. Planets with strategic deposits. Well, Hyperium is a strategic deposit. So I've only got 1. That's kind of unfortunate. Transvine is a luxury. Hyperium is a strategic. But you also get +1 per population overall. So that's one that we want. This would be better. How many hot planets we got here? We got 3 hot planets and sterile. We have 2 sterile. And then, so it's going to be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 industry. Oh, per population on those planets. Okay. Yeah, AI labor, definitely we're going to want that. This can only be built once per empire, so we're going to hold off on that. This can only be built once, so we'll hold off on that as well. We're going to want this. Do we want this one? Fertile, planet, and temperate. Yeah, we do, because we have a fertile, we have 2 temperates. So it would benefit enough. This one probably not. No, I don't see any planets with anomalies, and we're not focused on science. Plus 10% science per system level. That's going to go at our home world. Plus 5 approval per luxury deposit. We've got 3 luxury deposits here, so yes, we want that. We probably want big data shipyards here. And perhaps I would wrap up with infinite supermarkets for plus 10 approval. That seems really, what is it? It's a system improvement approval. I don't know if I want that for a system improvement. I might not be understanding what's happening here. I think if I build this on this system, it gives me the ability to make its system improvement an approval-based one. I think that's what that's saying. Okay, well, we have a whole bunch of things queued up. It's going to take 17 turns, which is actually fairly quick for as many things as I loaded up here. What do we have here? The settler was completed, so let's back out and form a fleet for that settler and order them to colonize the Virgo system. That's what I'm going for, right? Yes. How many turns is that going to take? 7 turns. Not too bad. That's what that double engine is doing for my settler ship. More movement. They can move 7. I guess 7 places at a time. All right. In turn, we climbed 4 points from last turn. We need to see more points per turn than that, but we'll see how it goes. We failed this one. Be the first to possess 20 star system improvements in your empire. Oh, that's too bad. I think I got that on my last playthrough. Before I scrapped that playthrough in favor of doing this online. Assign a hero of at least level 5 on the Hammer, Rossam, and Nos systems. Quest started Lord of War. Okay, level 5. Well, that might take a while. We'll get a random technology for it. Black markets have... Oh, wait. We have an option here. Oh, you know what? This is hard. I usually take this one. Reach 60 approval on the Hammer, Rossam, and Nos systems. Black markets have always existed in dense urban centers within the Empire. As long as they're monitored and kept under control, they have their uses. Criminal elements can be kept busy, hidden taxes can be skimmed, and interesting contraband can be smuggled into the nation for the leadership's pleasure. However, black markets for illegal firearms is another matter, especially when it enables... Oh, all this other stuff is okay, but not guns. When you're an authoritarian regime, I can see that, because you know what this feels like? This feels like China, the CCP, and how they operate, where they allow certain things for a while and they only crack down whenever they feel like it becomes a threat, but then they loosen the reins again. So you're never really quite sure when something's really going to land you in prison for life or if it's going to be overlooked. What a terrible system to live under. However, black markets for illegal firearms is another matter, especially when it enables enemy civilians to get their hands, tentacles, or other appendages on some of the Empire's most effective weaponry. Oh no, God forbid that the civilian population be able to call the shots. The unfortunate truth is that some of our undercover security forces have unearthed compelling evidence that a gun smuggling ring is operating out of 3 of our systems. The leader is suspected to be the nephew of Duke Groltz, a bad apple with a history of criminal activity. What should you do? So, if I was role-playing, I would want to shut it down. But I find this to be kind of hard to achieve. What's, minimize this. What level are my heroes at right now? This one's level 4, this one's level 5. And doesn't it say that I have to have a level 5 agent on all 3? Yeah. Hammer, Rossam, and Nos, and I only have 2 agents, so this is a whole lot easier for me to achieve, and we'll get the same reward. It's a random technology, so I'm going to take that. We'll see how that plays out in the future. You'll pay Duke Groltz a visit, make sure he understands the stakes, but this little venture could help you sow unrest in your enemy's ranks. You just need to make sure the local populations remain content. Yeah, that sounds exactly like China. They are masters at like social psychology, and they push and push and push till the population is on the teetering brink, and then they relax and let everybody kind of breathe easy. It's like the definition of the frog in a frying pan. You boil the water slowly, and then when it gets to a point that the populations are getting a little bit too unruly, then they sort of relax a little bit and let them have some more freedoms, and they get used to where the new marker is at and how things operate, and then after a little while they begin to raise that temperature again. And they do that by really truly understanding at deep levels where the population's psychology as a whole is at, whether they're about to revolt or not. That's my impression of how they do things. So I don't like it. I don't think it's good or noble or moral. I think it's evil, but you can respect the talent and knowledge that's being applied there. All right, colonize ash, colonize lava. Autonomous construction. Did I read? I've been reading this stuff as we've gained the technology, and I don't think I read this one here. Ubiquitous surveillance. Everyone's safer when nobody has any secrets, right? Oh my God. Every part of the world is awash with data capture devices, from nano cameras to eavesdropping flies to chemical sniffers, not to mention digital trawlers. So that gave us access to big data shipyards and support module, improved recruiting support module. All right. We roll forward. Autonomous construction now being done. We can read that one. Infrastructure projects can benefit from this newly developed ability to auto-generate structures. Blueprints, bills of order, storage, planning, fabrication, and construction can now be done rapidly and autonomously by independent machines. That's kind of incredible. Think of all the jobs that would be replaced, though. That's a lot of jobs being replaced. It's almost like society would be working towards humans having two jobs left: management and robotics repair. I guess you would have the engineers that design and build the machines, and then you have to have the maintenance side, and everything else is handled by machines and AI. That's I don't know how that would work out, because when you replace an industry, let's just take one of these, auto-generate structures. When you replace that with robots, so robots go out and build your buildings for you now, you're getting rid of an entire industry of construction. That's not only the workers, but the managers of those places and the bosses, the middlemen. You're probably touching a little bit on supply and the supply areas, like tools. You know, a human being is going to buy tools and buy them consistently, and a robot's probably going to have tools embedded in it from when it was manufactured. So I get the feeling that the jobs you create, the new jobs you create for maintaining the robots, are fewer than the jobs you replaced. So what does that do with your population? What happens with your unemployment? And do you have to start regulating things like birth rates in order to keep your population at a level that's commensurate with the jobs available? I don't know. I think it opens up all kinds of questions that people don't tend to think about whenever they're advancing tech, you know? On the positive side, there could be other jobs created that I'm simply not thinking of, right? Did we, okay, we're working on planetary landscaping now. I think that's our terraforming tech. Less than 10 antimatter and a high price, okay. And move our ships forward. And proceed to the next turn. Planetary landscaping is done. Let's read about that. That was this one, right? A tentpole description of a range of horticultural technologies that together become much greater than the sum of their parts. Germline manipulation, programmed seed dispersal, and artificial pheromone manufacture are the basis of an incredible tech that can transform whole continents. So we get access to unique improvement. This is not terraforming. Terraforming is over in the science area. Epigenetic crop seeding, a system improvement for food. Okay, good. And intensive cultivation logistics, another system improvement for food. Okay. And we're now working on botanical scanning. Your outpost turned into a colony. Hey! Let's get this up, followed by this, and then this. And then we will colonize what we're able to. Looks like I still need toxic. This is our food place. We can change the name. What's something agricultural? I don't want something machine related, I don't think. What if we called it acre? Should we call it Green Acres? What does that look like? Is that too long of a name? Let's find out. I think it'll work. That's funny. That that would be. I like it. We're gonna go with it. All right. So it's telling us that that's gonna take 42 turns. It's not. As we get these industry things in place, we'll be drastically reducing the turn amount. All right, cool. So we've reached Ebony here, and this is where my other naval fleet is just kind of camped out. I think I actually want them at Farver. And that puts them in a good spot to respond to this area. Okay, in turn. Move everybody. And what's the score? 260. I think we're at 244 before, so that's a big jump. 328, man. Whoever blue is, I think that might be the Sophons. They are really steamrolling. They've been steamrolling for a while. I keep waiting for them to kind of plateau off, and it ain't happening. How are things looking here? We're starting to colonize. Okay, excellent. Excellent. What's their industry at now? 84. It's starting to climb. A million things I haven't done. Conflict has broken out between two of your trusted advisors. Two war heroes, once dearest friends, oh, that's too bad, have nearly come to blows over the management of the industrial party. They trade insults in the press and don't print retractions. One, a young upstart who has made enemies and allies with his decisive decision-making, argues the party should adopt more taxes and tariffs in order to regulate the empire's debts. I'd be okay with tariffs. I'm not too okay with taxes. The other, a fine negotiator but dedicated opportunist, cautions against bold action and worries about the government's relationship with large businesses and foreign empires if such acts are taken. Their argument is as much personal as it is professional. Whichever advisor you back will have plenty of ammo to throw at the other as their rivalry continues. Okay, so we have the upstart and we have the opportunist. The upstart, who is in favor of taxes and tariffs, we would get 20% of food converted into dust, and it greatly increases the industrialist political ideology. This upstart believed for the longest time his only way to rise up was on the battlefield in glory. Rewarding his plan will show the people there's more to life than being a martyr. And then there's the opportunist, plus 15% star system trade value on systems on Empire, and it increases the industrialist political ideology as well. The opportunist motives may consistently disgust you, but there is reason in his words. You might favor him on this occasion. It seems like they're both good ideas. I think I'm gonna try the food converted into dust, because I think I'll be producing more food than I am trade. Even though I plan on getting trade going on within my empire, diplomacy is an area of this game I'm not really very nuanced in, so I don't have a lot of faith that I can get trades going with opposing empires, especially because as a new player playing as the United Empire, I kind of want to be antagonistic. I want to take other empires over, not get along with them, that kind of a thing, you know. So I'm going to back the upstart. Wisdom of the past. Curious archaeologists speak to you of an ancient starfaring race called the Nakalim, who may no longer be quite so ancient. History tells us that they hibernated en masse as their civilization collapsed, but little is known of their culture and history. Are you willing to redirect some exploration vessels to uncover some of the secrets of this unusual story? Perhaps you could even come to understand some of their unique and powerful technology. Investigate 2 ruins-type curiosities, and we would get a Nakalim ship. Okay. Petra has leveled up. She's now level 6. I think now is the time to come down this line right here. So what's that do for us? +1 influence per population on planets. Ooh, influence could start to skyrocket now. Okay. Botanical scanning has 1 turn left. We continue to expand population. And we can move fleets forward. Oh man, I thought that he would make it that turn. He'll make it next turn. End turn. Oh look, we're making 125 dust per turn now. Okay, so we just got the epigenetic crop seeding. Boom. It is this one. Botanical scanning. Being relatively sedentary and slow growing, plants are easier to scan and analyze than animals. Systems to tag and scan plant life on a large scale aid immeasurably in efforts to detoxify and colonize new planets and systems. So, system improvement, epigenetic crop seeding, +2 food per population on planets. And intensive cultivation logistics, +10 food per luxury deposit, and +10% food. Okay. Vital statistics. All right, so this was the census. An era of unfettered construction will see the skylines of your biggest cities transformed and your legacy secured. Your system has become a beacon of industrial might, ready to construct whatever your empire needs. No leader has built a stronger base, and your name will be forever synonymous with strength. So we needed to generate 196 industry in one of our systems, and that's what we've done, apparently. We get 150 dust as a result. I'm not really quite sure what developed that kicked us up from +80 dust a turn to +125. Bushir has finished colonizing absolutely everything. This is what we would click if we wanted to terraform, but we don't. We're instead going to start pumping food stuff into here, because we have that ability now. Okay, so sustainable labs, it's +5 per cold, +5 per hot, and +5 per planet. I don't think I have any cold, but I have 3 hot planets, so that's gonna work. And +5 for what? Planet, okay. Right here, it's +2 per population on planets. We have 4 planets here. They're of fair size, too. We have medium. This one's small, though. And then this one's large, and this one's large. So we want that up. Luxury deposits. How many luxury deposits do I have? I have 1. The red saying 2. Oh, you know what? We need to check these curiosities out. Let's actually do that first. And then once those curiosities are done, we'll come back and we'll start putting food growth into place. Okay, we can check this out. Poor soil, -2 approval per population, -3 food. We don't really care. We're not going to populate that planet. We're now going to come to here. Has my colonizing ship arrived? It's probably been there for a little bit. That's my bad. I don't know when it got here. We're going to colonize the large, the small, the medium. What do we have here? Desert, arid. I guess we'll just go straight off the bat with the large. $18 turns. I guess because of how far away it is from supplies. You're producing 26 food. Isn't there a place that I can check that it provides food? I know there is. I just don't remember where it's at. I don't know that I want to do that anyway, but I would like to know where I would select that from. Oh man, I don't remember. I'll have to see if that floats across my eyes some point in time. Wasn't anything here. Okay, well. 39 turns. We are now at 287. We're starting to really jump up there. Oh, but look, some other people are catching up to us. We've lagged for so long. Okay, Bushir. Successful. Lost cities. Fascinating. Apparently, they were worshippers of the lost, and many of their technologies appeared as direct gifts from this incomprehensible species. Let us see exactly how the artifact you now own operates. Their civilization is an old one, so investigating ruins-type curiosities is likely a good way to learn more. So we got a ship. More population. Lost cities as a luxury deposit. These ruins of ancient civilizations are a wealth of information on civilizations other than the Endless. Often strange and incomprehensible, they are of value for study and tourism. +2 approval per population on system. Okay. Everybody moves. We're getting close. Next turn. Okay. $294. AM Fleet Accelerator. Distance traveled per movement point plus 20%, and we get 2 movement points. Okay. So high mobility. It's a module. Objective achieved. The local populations were beginning to mobilize against the illegal gun shops in their midst when you discovered them. But since your fake crackdowns, the protests have died away. Now, with the gun smuggling operations truly underground, it's time to flag inferior arms and make some quick dust. Time to flog inferior arms and make some quick dust. Reach 60 approval on Hammer, Rassam, and NOS systems. Okay, so that's done. And we got chameleon spaces. Bringing together the best industrial engineers and science researchers and tasking them with designing multi-purpose spaces where manufacturing plants can swiftly be co-opted into research hubs can lead to some very flexible star systems and some very confused factory workers. So we get Planet Cracker Factory. What the heck? Blocks the construction queue. All the industry is consumed, and 25% of that industry is converted into science. Science. Slag and Sludge Center, +1 resource generation on resource deposits. That sounds good. Achieved objective. Be the first to build the Wonder Endless Research Park and Endless World in one of your star systems. Other empires will get a refund of their investment. Congratulations, you have achieved this legendary deed. Other empires can no longer hope to obtain it. Alright, what does that do for me? That was this one here. Maybe it's this one. I don't know what it did for me. I guess only one civilization can have it. Yeah, it can only be built once per galaxy and cannot be moved with an arc. So the benefits of the actual building is what I'm getting here. Nobody else will be able to get that. Okay. Rassam now has an empty construction queue, which I want to fill with this. The Intergalactic Technology Center, plus 10% science per system level, and negative 10% science cost on technologies, on technology costs. Okay. That's going to take 25 turns. Hopefully, this is another one of those things that only one can be built per galaxy, so hopefully we're the ones that get it. Planet Cracker Factory Lab. Okay. How much science are we producing here? 212. Not bad. Not bad. Move the fleets. Travel between two solar systems without using the star lanes, and you may pick up traces of the lost before they were hunted by the Endless. Oh, so I won that. I got 250. Oh, it's a solo quest. 250 dust. Okay. And we are now up here in this system. We're on the very outskirts of a major empire. A large ash, huge desert, and large gas. Okay, now we're going to send the other three out like this way. You discovered the planet Vale. From orbit, this planet is visually interesting. No, visually uninteresting. Silent and undeveloped, it turns beneath the glare of an indifferent star. History and legend claim it is one of the great centers of virtual study, however, and the seat of the subfaction commonly known as the Cabal of Pure Thought. Should these tales be true, the planet would be rich with power generation centers, networks, and a planet-wide infrastructure of superconducting cables. Until there is a way to render these visible, however, the planet merely appears as it is. The curiosities to be examined will be shown a quest indicator. What is this? Curiosities in several constellations need to be examined and their data compared to discover the origin of an endless superweapon. so I have to discover curiosities in other constellations. The only problem with dangerous secrets long left buried is that eventually some fool is bound to dig them up. Archaeologists and researchers from the Ursa Major Technopole have discovered evidence of an endless constructed superweapon. While it is not surprising that they created devastating armaments, the worry is that this one may either be active or at least able to be activated. There is no time to lose. Get your explorers out there and figure out what is happening before the weapon ends up pointed at you. Okay, so I lost my vector here. I think it's going to be something like this. Yeah, those look to be roughly the same distance. This one's a little further out. Okay. So who are you guys? You're the Sophia. Okay. So I guess the light blue is not Sophos. And you're at 309 points. Oh, look, we're starting to catch up. 343 to 330. We're closing that gap. We are closing that gap. Excellent. We're researching extreme atmospherics now. Where's that at? It's over here. All right. End turn. Expedition successful. A lot of Lost City stuff. These are luxury, right? Yeah, they're a luxury deposit. An unexpected guest. Out of the blue, literally, a new minor faction has abruptly moved onto one of your planets and have no intentions of leaving anytime soon. Whether they are friendly or not is yet to be discovered, but hopefully their intrusion won't be long. It's up to you to decide how best to treat them. Alright, so we got Calgaros on our system. Integration or exclusion, diversity or purity. The choice, for the moment, has been forced upon you. Okay. Hello, Calgaros. Forged in battle. Okay. We failed this, right? It's time to loose the dogs of war, unleash your hero. Solo quest started. Okay. A hero comes to you with an unusual request. They would like to have a formal dispensation, an order from you, to be allowed to hunt down other heroes in the galaxy. This seems a bit odd, of course. An old tradition, a hazing ritual, a practical joke gone too far. However, when a hero wins a battle, they gain power from which you benefit, and in addition to this, the notoriety and image of your empire will certainly gain stature. Very well then, let the heroes play their games as long as you can profit from it. Let the hunt begin. I probably won't achieve this. We would get the behemoth overdrive. Though risky, the ability to temporarily overclock behemoth weapons systems can add a brief but powerful tactical advantage. Opening your empire's doors to new population types has its challenges, but also its rewards. Okay, so we just achieved that because the Calgaros showed up. A small immigrant community is forming. Your heart swells. What? That doesn't sound very empire-ish. Your heart swells seeing them go about their daily business. Your empire is growing in more ways than one. That seems like something written by a weirdo. You know, like, have you ever heard of that whole, like, white savior complex? This seems like something written from the perspective of somebody who deems themselves as a helper of humanity. Come here, we will take care of you and improve your plight. And I don't think that's how immigration ever is supposed to be looked at. You're supposed to be looking at it as we're trying to build a strong nation here with a unified vision. Do you want to be part of it? So the difference is that one is like a nanny looking down at a kid, like this is the immigrant. Here, I will take care of you. And the other is more of equals wanting to partner together in order to improve the future. I got questions about the person who wrote something like this. All right. I think they have a fundamental misunderstanding of the partnership between human beings. New luxury resource discovered. Meta Entactigen. What is the word for that? There's a word for it. Condescending? It comes up as really condescending. Meta. Okay, let's read about this. I've never seen this before. Sourced from a plant that apparently survives by absorbing dark matter from its environment, Meta Entactigen emits radiation on very unusual spectra. When ingested, it makes the aura of an individual visible to others, which greatly improves communication efforts. Okay. Okay, so it can basically show whether you're lying or not. I don't know a whole lot about the whole aura thing, but I know enough to understand that people who believe in it, whenever if they can see someone's aura, it tells them whether or not that person is emitting negative or positive energy, good or evil, that kind of a thing. So if somebody were smiling in your face and negotiating at the negotiating table, but really they're trying to stick a knife in your back and steal your business from you, you would be able to see that their words don't match their aura. So that's what this is talking about. Greatly improves communication efforts because it forces everybody to be honest. Plus 15% influence per system level on system. Imperials, population grows. Bouchier is now ready for foodstuffs. Let's get it. Per hot, per planet. That's what's going to work for us. We got 3 hot planets here, so we do want that. Plus 2 food per population on planets. That's going to pay off. That's going to scale really well. Plus 10 food per luxury deposit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Yes, that's going to work really well. So that's 40 food right there, and then we get 10% food, additional food from this system. Plus 25 per system level, and plus 3 on original empire population. I want all of those. So we're going to run with that. That's going to take how long? 13 turns. Let the ships begin their movements. All right, what's the score now? 343, 345. Look at that. We're starting to scale ourselves. That's really good. That's really good. We're just getting started too. We have a whole system over here that's not even come online yet. Luxury prices increased. I'm not playing the market at all. I'm sure that's a big mistake. We need to check a curiosity here. Lost cities. All right. And then off to the former pirate system with you. 5 turns. How are we looking up here? This guy has 2 of 4 probes. Let's go ahead and fire those 2 probes off. Right in this direction and this direction. And then we will begin traveling. Okay. Expedition successful on Hammer 3. We have Adamantium now. Thieves and traitors. It seems that certain rebellious elements within the Academy have decided to formally oppose Isyander's vision of the future. It is said that they refuse to accept some of the potential risks of his crusade, which happen to include the possible eradication of intelligent life. Breaking... What? which happened to include the possible eradication of intelligent life. Wow. Breaking into the open, these rogue fleets of dissenting heroes are out in the galaxy, attempting to foment rebellion and interrupt the long-view strategic game that Isyander is playing. No longer being entirely sure of his own so-called followers, the leader of the Academy requests your help in bringing them down. I think last episode I nicknamed this guy Joe Biden. Put an end to the rogue heroes that are opposing Isyander's grand plan. And look, he's even doing the fist thing. You ever notice how when Joe Biden gets angry, he looks like Cornholio? You know, he shakes his fists out at like 90-degree angles, like he's doing a curl, you know? Last episode, we read something about Isyander that made it sound like he didn't know exactly what he was saying, and other people weren't sure what he was saying, and that was the whole reason why I was like, man, sounds like Joe Biden. So anyway, Academy ship where a betrayer was defeated. Okay, so hunt down and defeat the 3 rebel fleets. We're probably not going to do that. Academy discovered. Maybe that's one of those fleets that they're talking about. Let's send this to here. I didn't see anything. I don't know.
The Oregon Confederacy seeks only knowledge and a true place to call home.
Oh, this isn't the Sophos. These are the Vultures. Okay. Her name is Sophia. Gotcha. Let's see if we can engage in some diplomacy. What do y'all think about trade?
Let us see if we can trust your words.
We don't have like a trade agreement, a general trade agreement that we could ask for. They are applying a little bit of pressure on us. Why is that? Aren't we stronger than they are? Influence pressure. Attack fleets, oh my. We're in a Cold War with them by default. That's just normal. Map sharing, Empire Dust. Transvine. I don't know, man. I don't see a trade. I thought there was trade up here. Okay, well, let's just leave it alone. I don't necessarily want to declare peace. It doesn't feel like something the Empire would really aim to do as a default. I'm going to want to try and discover that curiosity. $369 to $343, they jumped ahead a little bit. Okay. End turn. We're at plus 315 dust per turn now. High eye slugs. Kinetic weapon. Progress. The new industrialist movement on Bushir is causing more problems than you would like. Apparently, some political organizations have been spearheading a civilian movement to tear down the old, destroying valuable cultural monuments and priceless artifacts in an attempt to usher in a new industrial era. What? If this is allowed to continue, intellectualism and innovation on Bushir will be crippled for decades to come. Still, the near fanatical energy of this movement is doing wonders for the system's industry. What will you do? I don't care what it's doing wonders for. How about we harness that energy in prison systems and allow you to fabricate things from there? That's ridiculous. No, we're not going to allow this. We're going to stop it immediately. Plus 20 science on system, negative 20 industry. for 10 turns. Yeah, that's okay. This is a strong industrial system. We can weather that. Increases scientist political ideology. And then this one would be the opposite. So the movement is ridiculous. Yes, it is. And must be put to a stop. It would be an awful waste if you allowed the people to cast off the lessons of history so carelessly. Yeah, you bunch of retards. Jeez, what a bunch of apes, you know? Cavemen. Your system hammer has been selected as the host venue for a major diplomatic summit. In the coming months, all eyes will be on you. Watchdog groups across the galaxy will be monitoring Hammer's infrastructure, stability, and security in preparation for the summit. Make sure the event goes off without a hitch, and you may find surprising new opportunities open up for your empire. Protect your system from intrusion while the diplomatic summit is held. Well, I'm just going to kind of hope that that takes care of itself. I'm not sending a fleet out there to just park. New minor civilization discovered, the Nashast. They're going to fall under the influence of Sophia of the Vultures. I'm not too concerned. I'm not even going to waste my time negotiating. All right, Hammer. We need more industry. +5 per population on hot and +5 per population on sterile. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 hot and 1, 2, 3, 4 sterile. That's outstanding for this system. Incredible. So what's 5, 10, 15, 20? So it's +40. Oh, per population. Holy smokes. I guess for most of the system. So it'll be +10 per population on each one of these planets. And we'll add this one too. +3 per population on planets with strategic deposits. Strategic, that would be this one here once we learn how to mine it. And that's really it, because this is a luxury deposit. Strange fossils, what's that do for me? +2 industry and +1 dust. Okay. Alright, so that's going up. What do you do? Plus, let's see, per fertile, per temperate. That's not going to be very good here. Planets with anomalies. We've only got... Well, no, we don't. We have 3 planets with anomalies. Actually, this might be good. Go ahead and put that up there. We definitely want this. This is going to be our main shipyard. I've only got 1 luxury deposit. Miners Union. +1 resource generation on strategic resource deposit. Yes, we do want that. And let me move big data up to right there. And Miners Union up 1 also. Magnetic field. Because it deals with science is kind of not a priority. I'm just now noticing I need to colonize still, so these go straight to the top. Okay. So they're telling me it's going to take 30 turns overall. We'll see how that pans out. I'm expecting it to be done quicker than that. What are you? An enemy fleet. So what I just did here is basically cast a net. Once this guy flies in here, he has to stay for 1 turn. He can't go straight through. That's if I understand how that's working correctly. I think I do. 1 more turn. Okay. How are we doing over here? 11 turns. Okay, time for new research. We just got extreme atmospherics. Forecasting and controlling the high gravity and high toxic atmospheres of gas giants is a science that requires inordinate amounts of computing power. Without great advances in mathematics, materials science, and subquantum physics, it would not even be thinkable. So we get expanded mines. Utilizing the same technology used to clean gas giant atmospheres, mining facilities now can be expanded into areas that were previously too toxic to enter without dedicated, cumbersome filtration suits. Output rises, +2 resource generation on strategic resource deposit. That's great. We can colonize gas giants. And we can now capture antimatter. Harnessing and harvesting antimatter is expensive and error-prone, where the results not so useful. Few civilizations would bother. Okay, and we have to pick a new tech. What should we do? What should we do? We should come over here and grab this one because it allows colonization of barren, which will lead to colonization of toxic. Adaptive bureaucracies it is. And tech stage has been unlocked. Trade Clearing Bureau. More population. Colonized Mediterranean is on the docket. Okay. Up here, we can move in here and check out this curiosity. Titanium reserves. And then move on. I guess to here. Maybe even to there. It's kind of hard to tell what I've uncovered and what I haven't. Okay, as I zoom in, it's a little easier. Ah, we can fight. And we should. Whoa. I don't want to fight. Oh, I have to. That was a mistake. Retreat. Darn it. I'm going to lose everything. Oh, there we go. Okay, we were able to retreat. All ships are up to date. The fleet is not orbiting one of your... Okay, so they're going to have to move up here to repair. Yeah, that's a problem. Oh, okay. I see. I am long overdue for researching this tech right here. And now I'm in a bad position. We'll have to see how this turns out. Okay, so now we're doing efficient shielding, which will give us these 2 new holes. These new systems, so adaptive bureaucracies. These new systems automatically adapt job titles, document routing, and training programs to the latest change in government policy. While it greatly simplifies the efficiency of government, you may get back from a meeting to find you have a new boss, a new job, and an undecorated cubicle. Wow. Wow. Okay. We get access to the Denark University, cultural flexibility, which is influence conversion, and we can colonize Baron. Empire development. Riled researchers. It appears that an intergalactic congress of scientists has turned into a labor dispute. They have come to the conclusion that their work is grossly underappreciated and plan to halt all experimental efforts until their wages improve, their lab equipment is upgraded, and their work reported more professionally. The last decision I made, I plussed up science at the expense of industry. Oh, but you know what? Here I could plus up science at the expense of dust, and I can afford that dust. Okay, maybe it's time to do something. It's better to spend a little money than to see your knowledge and research talents dwindle and disappear. Plus 30 science on systems and empire. We're going to take that. And it looks like I have space for a new law. We'll take Star Boogie Bill, I guess. So we can move more. Permanent monsoon. Wow. +2 food, -2 approval, and -2 industry. Transvine. And antimatter. Foreign contaminant. One of your exploratory drones used by your team for rapid planetary assessment has disappeared. According to your lead technician, this type of drone has a particularly low malfunction rate. He thinks it was intentionally sent off course by someone or something. The drone has a cargo bay for collecting samples. Perhaps if you find it, you might discover what happened to it. 2 sites look like promising leads. They're both in difficult locations, though, and recovery will be expensive and possibly dangerous. Explore the quest curiosities on the planet Certe 1. Each expedition will cost 5 titanium. Reward: pirate ship spawned on system Certe. Okay. Smart T repair bots. 150 health bonus at the expense of hull weakness. Okay. Alright, so we gotta wait here for more probes. We have 1, 2, 3 more curiosities available. Alright. Efficient shielding will be done in 2 turns. $366 to $391. We've kind of slowed down again. Part 2. The upstart's success has only emboldened his political ambitions and raised his standing with the public. He campaigns to run for head of the Treasury and wins in a landslide. Now, one of the most loved and hated leaders in your empire holds the keys to the vault. His rivals can't tolerate this. They've thrown everything they've got against him, but even infidelity charges don't stick. The opportunist, however, sees one last chance to bring him down. In a rare stroke of boldness, he insults the upstart's family, in particular the man's dead son, who was accidentally killed in a fight while military training. The upstart is furious and demands satisfaction in the form of a duel. Wow. Well, Pacifism doesn't feel like it role plays well with the Empire. What foolishness is this? You can't have two of your top officials killing each other over insults and pride. Au contraire, monsieur. Yes, we can. You shall duel each other. Let them work out this petty quarrel on their own. Economic, a matter of black and white. Economic development or environmental sustainability. An argument as old as sentient life has still not found its ultimate answer. Is it really an argument as old as sentient life? Even now, differing voices within your government advocate strongly for one or the other approach. My thing would be like, is one of them a false pretense? You know, I mean, that's how alarmism works. You make a claim that isn't actually a reflection of reality, but you describe it as though it is. Improve your industrial output at the risk of damage to the ecosystems, or promote conservation and responsible development at the risk of a decline in your economic power. I agree with doing both. Well, that doesn't make sense. I agree with this. Responsible development. It's just that I know where they're obviously pulling this from real world, and real world is where my questions lie. Left to their own devices, there are some people that will do things irresponsibly. The smart people learned how to do this ages ago. For example, cutting trees down in one section, like buying 4 plots of land and rotating every 10 years which one you're cutting trees down in. You're able to sustain your business. It's just intelligent, right? Same thing with food. You have to let the land reinvigorate itself sometimes, so you have to stop farming it for a while. So smart farmers own multiple plots of land and they rotate around. This is my understanding of it. But then you have climate alarmists who claim that the planet's going to explode tomorrow if you don't pass all of their crazy ideas. And so how do you avoid the negatives of both? We're going to take a look and see what we think is the smartest one. At the risk of a decline in your economic power, as the supreme leader of your empire, the choice comes down to you. Industrialist, use the Senate screen to select and pass laws. Or ecologist, use the Senate screen to select and pass laws. Okay. Well, we're going to go industrialist. So there's big arguments right now. I'm going to apply real world framework to trying to understand this. Real world arguments right now that man-made carbon emissions are killing this planet. Then there are counter scientific arguments that suggest that how that is presented makes it actually hyperbolic and false. And you have countries like China and India that are on an industrial rampage right now, putting out all kinds of old school carbon emissions. And it doesn't seem to be, I don't know, the rules that we're trying to pass in the West doesn't seem to have any kind of impact if at the same time you're having this other stuff happen in these other two nations and I brought them up as examples. I'm sure there are other examples too. I'm not trying to just highlight one or paint them to be evil or anything like that. What I'm suggesting is that the whole thing suggests that the premise is false and that there are ulterior motives in place. And people in this camp trying to wear cloaks of virtue that are actually just trying to raise up new industries to make money off of, right? So we are the United Empire. We're an industrialist empire, so we're going to go with this one right here, and with the idea that not only it's not that they're wrong, it's that they're lying. They're and that a number of their people that actually bought into it are just deceived. you know, and that these policies being advocated for here would would throttle our economy and gain us nothing of what they promise. That's kind of the approach that we're taking here. So we need to pass 2 industrialist laws and we'll get a random technology. Okay, well that's not super hard to do. What we have to do is we have to abolish these 2 and then temporarily go throw in a couple industrialist laws. We'll pass that one. We do have a colony developing, so that'll help actually. And we'll pass this one. +1 resource generation on strategic resource deposit. And plus 10% industry per strategic deposit on systems. Okay. And this event has ended. Hero level up. And I want this. There we go. He's level 5 now, I think. Yep. And we have an empty construction crew. Or queue. I keep wanting to say crew. Everything is colonized. I got the big space, the big shipyards. Here pretty soon we're going to be constructing ships here, so I need something that doesn't take long. This was going to be industry and dust. I can only build one, so I don't really have anything dust relay I can put up. Maybe... strategic resource. I only have one. That's expanded mines, right? Let's maybe get started with this. I guess. We'll throw this up too, and then next turn we're going to be able to build ships, so we're going to make them the priority. We'll just raise them up. This will just allow me to get 50% progress on Miners Union right now while there's nothing else to do. Oh boy. Voyager could be in trouble here. What do you got? You got 1 probe. Let's fire it off. We got more adamantium. One of the planets in this system is tidally locked with its star. One of its hemispheres is constantly bathed in light. Some long-gone civilization apparently used the planet as an enormous farm. Now lush jungle grows over neat, barely recognizable rows of food crops. +1 food per population on planets on Empire. After some jungle exploration, your crew comes away with a relatively large stash of nutritious, sour-tasting fruit. Oh, for 20 turns. Okay, so we're going to be producing a lot of food for 20 turns. Now, I'm going to move this guy out of harm's way. Okay. And, you're 2 turns away, and then you'll heal up right here. Very good. Okay. What do we have here? Gotcha. Move to turn 60. Oh, we got an election. Industrialist and surprisingly religious. I didn't expect that. Species stability. What's that do? +5 dust on original Empire population. Wow. Only your starting population can increase. Ah, okay. So if you want to be really Imperial ethnicity centered, you would take this. Oh, look, they're pulling out the one that looks different. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, so this is what you do if you want a homogeneous society. That's interesting. All right, efficient shielding is done. By augmenting the natural magnetic characteristics of the hull material and using lighter alloys and construction, this improved ship design gives bonuses to tonnage and improves kinetic and missile defense. Very good. X out of that. The means of production. An empire's ability to react is proportional to the volume of its production. If one can build quickly, one can strike, defend, or strategize with ease. Slower producing and thus slower moving empires are inevitably caught on the back foot. Claim this advantage for your empire and reap the rewards. In 20 turns, own the system producing the most industry in the galaxy. Well, that's me so far. I'm in the lead there, and this is what will win. 500 dust and 75 titanium. That's a pretty substantial reward. Economic development or environmental sustainability. Okay, done. Legislation moves ahead and the path of your empire shifts slightly forward, then to a future where someday these two forces no longer pull in opposite directions. Okay. Make the ecologists angry by enacting 2 industrialist laws, and we gained gamma absorption. If I can get my mouse to stay on it. The sciences of fields and materials have improved to the point that industrial platforms allowing the absorption and control of electromagnetic energy across the spectrum can be built in the harshest conditions. Population and trade. Okay. So we get microwave pipes plus 2 FTSE per population on planets. That seems pretty substantial. And quadrinics capture. Enables exploitation of whatever quadrinics is. Okay, this unknown empire assimilated this faction here. I expected the Vultures to get it, but instead it was these guys. Colonizing lava. This is in the hammer system. Okay, good. Luxury prices increased. Oh gosh, negative 74 on dust. The swings that we experience are incredible. Negative 2.3 from dust inflation. Negative 8.5 from system dust production. And negative 63 from military upkeep. Military is costing me a lot, and I'm about to build more. Okay, well, speaking of which, we are going to destroy these blueprints. And I need to come up with different names because the names I have are better for, I think it's the Vodyani that are they're like a religious society. I think they're called the Church of Vodyani. I need more empire-like names, but right now what I'm working with is I have the Sentinel, which that could probably work. Yaranif class. I could probably keep that. We're going with shields. And then I think the pinch beam is the upgraded plasma. And this one is the upgraded laser. Or I guess it's the basic laser. Pinch beam. That's it. And then a warp drive. Okay, so that's the Sentinel. And it's defensive oriented. Then we're going to create the Crusader. And that's the offensive. And I need 3 of these pinch beams. And a shield. Then we need to go to Nos. And create 2 Sentinels and 2 Crusaders. And we really probably need to be looking into pumping our economy up. That was a fast flip from plus 300 something to a negative deficit. And I don't understand the game well enough to know how it flipped that fast. Oh, we've already got this stuff. We need to build this stuff. I need that dust system to get online. So you can only build one of these. There's a marketplace. A miners union. Okay, what does this do? Intergalactic supermarket can only be built once per empire. And there's a buyout available using dust. Is it Astro Finance? Oh yeah, we want that. Which one gives me trade companies? Neural robotics, impactless sites. Xenotourism agencies is going to come from this one. I want that. Colonial exchange is a planetary specialization. Public 3D printing. Oh, it's this one. Trade companies. There it is. Okay. Hopefully that's going to be what solves my issue. Look, I'm already at negative 74. I don't... Oh, because the buildings cost money. Okay, well, we'll see how that turns out. We have 388 points to Blues 399. Oh, and we got passed by Gold 396.